feel like coding some Rust, and I figured I'd take you guys along for the ride. In the last video we implemented this keyword, so we can do things like, if I can find it, let me do something like, no, not like that, like that. And maybe it's this one, class with method. It is not. So here we go. Now we can print this.name, provided that it's set in a variable. All right, but what we're gonna look at now is what happens if we have an invalid use of this, by which I mean something like a function that's that we can call doesn't work, and I'm gonna give it a variable, and then it's gonna return this dot b plus a. Now it's just a function, so this doesn't exist, and it should produce an error. So it should produce something like this, and I guess we can say cannot use this keyword outside of a class, and that's the test. But let's try to run that. Interestingly, it did not work. But for the wrong reason. I have no idea where it wants. Semicolon, does it think it has to be? No. I think it might be because the keyword is actually fun, it's not fn. So let's try to run the test again. So you can see that nothing happened, didn't produce an error. And then if we run it, you can see that it fails because it didn't produce an error. So we're gonna work on that in this video, and the place where we're gonna put it is in the resolver. So it has this thing about a current function, and let me see what happens in resolve function. Actually, I think I need to like learn all the shortcuts or hotkeys I have. I should have a go to definition, so I think if I do not like that. Yes, I can go to definition like that. Anyway, so resolve function helper has resolving function. And it is set here, so that's good. But then we can go into resolve expression, and there should be a this. And now we can add some, Let me see what the return type of this thing is. It is a result. So like that. Okay, let's undo that. Now I'm not sure what I did. Okay, here we go. So actually what I want to do is not if the current class is equal to none, but if it's not equal to a method, then we want to, and oops, what is the complaint now? Class type. It's not class type, it's function type. So there we go. And current, it should be current function. There we go. And that should be okay. I think that will work. Let's try it. Let's actually try to run it because I think something went wrong. Error, cannot use this outside of class. Cannot use this outside of a class. Does not equal, cannot use this keyword, right? Forgot to put keyword here. We run it. Looks correct. Let's do cargo T. So that was easy enough. Let's see if we can find something else to work on. So I think what we're going to look at is constructors. So let's make a test example. Let's call it simple constructor, and it's gonna work like this. We'll have a usual bagel class, and then we'll define an init method. And this is something that is called when the object is constructed. So let's say it looks like that. And then if we make an instance, then we should be able to say print. It's a bit weird now, but let's print that. Print expected. Let's make the expected section, and it should be 5. Now, if we run this, it doesn't work because the init method is not called upon construction. So we actually need to go into here when a class statement is interpreted. We need to check, and basically I want to look in the methods map and like get something called init, and what is this value? Can we see that somehow? I don't remember how. But let's say it's probably an option, so let's do like that. So if it's there, then sure, we can say that for now, if the arity of this method is not 0, then we will actually error. Yeah, we can error, and we can say init init methods with arguments is not implemented. And to string. Okay, but otherwise, let me see. So it's a function, as we can see up here. And that is a real function. So let me just now, for fun, do this. Now if we run this test again, we do hit this piece of code, which is good. So I don't really need to do all this, but how is it that if we have a logs function implementation, how is it that we run it? We need to make an interpreter, and yeah, we basically have to do. No, that was too far. There, run logs function. That's what we have to do. So let me need to zoom out a little bit now. Okay, that doesn't look good. There we go. So we need to do that, which I will keep on the right. And I guess it kind of would make sense to do this. And I don't know if we can have like circular references, but it looks like we can. So I'm gonna add it here, run logs function. And maybe we can format it. I wanted to do something like this. No, it doesn't like that. So anyway, let's see where we are handling the class again. Okay, we don't support init methods without any arguments right now, but we can now try to run this. It will return a result. So let's just say this for now. So we want to run the init method on an empty vector, whatever. And on the, guess it would be the current environment, which it gets a clone of because it takes ownership. And it's unhappy about this one because it needs a reference. It's a little bit. And this is also a reference. Okay. So we can do that. And it will return a result. It probably should just return nil. So like in the example, let me actually remove those. And it's better to do it like this. No, it's not that one, sorry. It is simple constructor. So it shouldn't return anything, it should just do assignments like that. So I guess we can do if let error message equal that. Then we just return that. And otherwise it should be fine because we just ran it. We can actually run it again and again, but which I think is fine. But anyway, let's try this one again. Couldn't look up this. That's interesting. So actually, what is this class again? It's okay. So the object is an instance, and then we look at the class for that instance. And then we define this to be the object. Okay, so actually we need to try something like this. Put that one there. So let's say make class instance. Well, no, hold on. It's not, I think I'm a little bit confused. So it's not in the, when we interpret the statement, it's actually when we make the instance. So I guess that would be over here. So when we, it looks like a function call. So if the thing we're calling is a class, then we need to put in something like this. So we actually need to look in the methods. And let's also get this one. So we make the instance, and now we want to run the constructor. And let's see. What is this callable? I think I accidentally deleted something. Ah, no, it's in here. So why is it complaining? So Ah, okay, interesting. So because I'm using the field, it's kind of moving it. Not sure what the best way to fix that is. Now it shouldn't complain. Okay, we make the instance. We do this. And now let's have another look at how it's done when we call a method. Okay, so basically, I think I want to say, let's call it new environment, and it should be the environment that we enclose, and then we put this into it. And what should it refer to? It should refer to instance. And then we can run it down here. Yeah, I guess we have to clone it again. Okay, so what do we do now? When a class is instantiated, we first make a bare instance like before, but then if there's an init method, we run that using a new environment where this is defined to be the instance. And I think that should be okay. But let's see what happens. There's a little bit of a warning, which we can just get rid of. But there also was a panic, so that's great. And where's the panic? That's the call thing. Wait. Not statement, but call. I'm in interpreter. Okay. Let's think. We are defining this. So when we run the function, this should not be a problem. But let's see. So how is it we call it normally? In the get. Okay, so Interesting. So we cannot run this one. Like this. Or can we? Maybe we have to enclose it. No, that was not it. I think that was wishful thinking anyway. Let me think about this. Okay, it's because there's two environments in play, which made me a bit confused. So this environment is the environment in which things should be, in which the arguments to the function should be evaluated. So it doesn't really matter in this case because there should be no arguments, but what type is this again? It's from the methods. So it's an logs function implementation, which does indeed have a parent argument environment. So we should be able to say parent environment is this new environment, which maybe we clone it. It didn't like that because we have to say it's mutable. And then now we can put it in here. Okay, so now it correctly, I think. Now it correctly ran, so let's run the tests just for fun. Okay, so there it is. Now we have basic constructors. But you know what? Maybe we can just very easily enable non-trivial constructors. Let's make a test again, doing a little bit of test-driven development today. So it's gonna be just, let's call it non-trivial constructor. We'll have the init method again. It's gonna take two variables and then it's gonna set those like that. Gonna make a bagel. It's gonna take 2 and 3, and then we're gonna print this one. And it should output 5. And as we know, it's not gonna work. Exactly. It's not supported yet. So we already want to remove that one. We actually had the same check twice. So we have the callable, which is called with some arguments, and those are the ones we now want to grab. So let's say first we have to do a check like that. And now actually that makes me want to invalid number of args in the constructor. Let me save that, and then let me find the non-trivial constructor and just essentially copy that. And then if we do this, it should error. invalid number of arguments in constructor. That's fine by me. Okay, so now this test that we just wrote should actually work. It seems like it's working. But the other one still doesn't work. And it fails here because maybe we just need to give it the arguments. Now that run. And now all the tests pass. So I think that's it for this video. We made sure this is not used in a wrong place, and we added constructors. See you in the next one.